Hoi yare, section mana dum kapuro. Ai kapoy.
As, khangdre da. Kamai ngana dono khangdre. Phare, adude ai chalukige. Bungo, mama inda kapuge ko, papa galeramo.
COVID-19 लाइसेट असि ngakthon bagi damak COVID ki vaccine kapna लाइसेट असि mari lena ba laina लाइसेट singdagi ngakthok sabangami masidana tana लाइसेट asina sanghandana bagi damak matam gi sarkarna pirakpa sana kangon sing aikhoi ngakna satminarasi Cowin apps ta register to piduna adom su suksoi soidana vaccine asi kapthok pi COVID ki vaccine kapthok tuna COVID leitaba iram damu heminarasi
aikhoi vaccine kaple se I could be sing up, let's say. I could be sing up, let's say. Honey, the punchy so cut coat, and jealousy. Jati Bizati Kai, then the Corona Lantern Techneracy. Corona Lantern Techneracy. I could be sing up, let's say. Corona Techneracy. Punchy so cut, my gator.
Mune, I pun vaccine kap thokuna, corona denga thokuna, hani pinsibu hanjano hanabada, adu bisok yabi. Tamo, kaya lo sandribo. As, karangana sasi na harago.
Kai noi sibo, kai sipo nai sibo.
Hima, COVID ki vaccine kap thok se na, ngara adu phasna hai ni dudi.
Ai haksang kasu tawde. Ai kapoy. Nate, haksang kasu tawde ba ingoni da kapa kai kadano. Ai kapoy haisine.
Tamo, narak dringai dana, isana hana sexil hona phatro. Kap thok puna phatabra ba.
Hoi yare, section mana dum kapuro. Ai kapoy.
As, khangdre da. Kamai ngana dono khangdre. Phare, adude ai chalukige. Bungo, mama inda kapuge ko, papa galeramo.
Let's take a look at the top headlines first. India reported 8,954 new coronavirus cases and 267 related fatalities. India's new travel rules for international flyers effective from December 1, 2021 amid Omicron scare. Parliamentary panel on education to incorporate Vedas and other great Indian texts in school textbooks. Hello and good afternoon. Welcome to ELITETV English News. This is UTPALA Longjam. Before giving you the news, we request you to follow the SOP given by the government. Wear face masks when out in public, wash hands regularly and maintain a minimum distance of 6 feet between one person and another. ELITETV requests you to get vaccinated in time to protect ourselves from this virus and play your part in the fight against COVID-19. Now the news in detail. India reported 8,954 new coronavirus cases and 267 related fatalities on Wednesday, pushing the overall case tally to 3,45,96,776 and the death count to 4,69,247 according to the Health Ministry Bulletin. During the same period, 10,207 recoveries were reported throughout the country. With this, the national recovery rate currently stands at 98.36%, which is the highest since March 2020. The active cases in the country stood at 99,023 or 0.29% of the total cases. Ministry of Health and Family Welfare said active COVID-19 cases in India fell below 1 lakh mark on Wednesday. New COVID variant Omicron, which has been declared as a variant of concern by the WHO, has raised concerns across the globe. The variant was first detected in South Africa earlier this month. Since then, the new strain has already been detected in several European countries. Omicron is said to be much more infectious than the Delta variant. Amid renewed fears over a new COVID variant, Omicron, the Indian government has issued new rules for international travelers arriving in India. These were announced following a high-level meeting to review public health preparedness with states and union territories. All international passengers must submit 14 days travel history and upload negative COVID test results on the Air Suvidha portal. The new travel guidelines are effective from today, December 1, 2021. All travelers should upload a negative COVID-19 RT-PCR report. This test should have been conducted within 72 hours prior to undertaking the journey. Airlines to allow boarding by only those passengers who have filled in the self-declaration form on the Air Suvidha portal, uploaded the negative RT-PCR test report. Passengers originating or transiting from at-risk countries shall be informed by the airlines that they will undergo post-arrival testing, quarantine if tested negative, stringent isolation protocols if tested positive. According to an updated list, the countries designated as at risk are the European countries, the UK, South Africa, Brazil, Botswana, China, Mauritius, New Zealand, Zimbabwe, Singapore, Hong Kong, and Israel. Such passengers will also undergo RT-PCR tests post-arrival. They will be required to wait for their test results at the arrival airport before leaving or taking a connecting flight. If tested negative, they will follow home quarantine for 7 days. Retest on the 8th day of arrival in India, and if negative, further self-monitor of their health for the next 7 days. However, if such travelers are tested positive, their samples should be sent for genomic testing at INSAGOG laboratory network. They shall be managed at a separate isolation facility and treated as per laid down standard protocol, including contact tracing mentioned. The contacts of such positive cases should be kept under institutional quarantine or at home quarantine, monitored strictly by the concerned state government as per laid down protocol. Travelers from countries excluding those countries at risk will be allowed to leave the airport and shall self-monitor their health for 14 days post-arrival. A subsection 5% of total flight passengers shall undergo post-arrival testing at random at the airport on arrival. School textbooks should incorporate the ancient wisdom, knowledge and teachings about life and society from the Vedas and other great Indian texts, according to a parliamentary panel on education. History books should also give greater importance to unknown freedom fighters, women heroes, the empires of the Deccan and the history of the Northeast and the Sikh and Maratha communities, added the panel. The Parliamentary Standing Committee on Education, Women, Children, Youth and Sports submitted its report on reforms in the content and design of school textbooks to the Rajya Sabha on November 30. The panel held consultations with a wide range of stakeholders, including the state and central institutions responsible for drafting textbooks and curricula, as well as education experts and civil society representatives. The panel recommended that the Education Ministry set up a monitoring mechanism to ensure that all privately published books, especially history books which were recommended for supplementary reading, were in consonance with the structure and content of the texts published by NCERT to avoid discrepancies. Ancient India's contribution to various fields of study and the linkages between traditional Indian knowledge systems and modern science needed to be highlighted, said the panel. It also suggested that the Vedas, the Bhagavad Gita, and some important teachings from all religious scriptures be included in school texts. The panel recommended that all NCERT books be published in all 8th scheduled languages with further translations into local languages not included in the official list, so that all children should access resources in their own mother tongues. It also offered suggestions for more child-friendly textbooks with additional audiovisual and interactive content, as well as the development of more digital learning resources. Kunai Kanba Apunba Maira Paibi Lup Thawbal District and all Thawbal District United Clubs Organization Aduko handed over food items, winter clothes and other essential items to Moirangthem Bidumukhi, 72 years of Langathel Tingel Laikai Thawbal District. Aduko President Tonjan Rajen, General Secretary Sapam Sanathoy, Kukampal President W. Maipak Devi, Secretary A.K. Chitreshwari and other important members took part in the humanitarian service. A.K. Chitreshwari said that Moirangthem Bidumukhi was the lone member of the household after the death of her husband and the marriage of her 3 daughters. She continued that they extended support on seeing the impoverished state of Moirangthem Bidumukhi. She further appealed to the government and other concerned authorities to look into the hardships faced by impoverished lone women of the state. Stay tuned, we'll be right back after a short break.
Sayon Hospital na Hagsel gi Maikaida awon ba ama purak na bagi khongthangda Nambol Bazar gi Koireng Road ta hospital ama hangdoktuna ana laing gi khudong chaba piba hauzare. Medicine, ENT, Gynecology, Orthopedics, Pediatrics na chingba departments kaya amada laing bachathari. 24/7 gi facilities piduna X-ray, ultrasound, special and routine laboratory test kaya tawbagi khudong chaba su pizari. Sayon Hospital asina adom gi isabu na deyekta na lainaba laing na ba hotnabada achoba thodang lauduna adom gi punsibu nungayay faba punsima oina bagi pandam thamli. Didim lambida tang na tomthin nga liba hospital asina adom gi laing bagi maikaida achoba thodang lauzari. Sayon Healthcare and Research Institute, Nambol Makha, Koireng Road. Contact number 0385-2956-711.
Lamdam asigi launi singmi singi ahangba lamsingda thabi hauro Mahindra Company amadi Holland country gi ZPC company ga punna tissue culture tawraga puthokchaba asengba alu char iramdam asigi leibak lehawa yamna chunaraba alu angangba Lady Rosetta amadi alu angogba Karfi Jyoti makhal animak pambiragani supnatagi alu piece amana alu kg ama hena puthokpa ngamba alu makhalni iramdam asibu saba ongnaba alu puthoklasi asengba alu char thar Sarnaba alu Hundok Kaka Maton Toklaga Semba alu chara Tharagum si haiba kholau Amagaloina Sahi ahum sugna Satharakpa mission Amagi Makada Pujarakpa alu chara singni Mipal Tangdana Iramdam Asida alugi awapa lehelagum si Lengsing Birau Nasimag Mahindra Tractor Showroom Malong Bazar Lintoy House Kaksing Bazar Adongi Ahanga Puhum Singda alu Thabiduna Iramdam Asida alugi awapa lehelagum si.
Welcome back, you're watching ELITETV English News. Daman and Diu came from 1 goal behind to beat Meghalaya 2-1 in their Group A encounter of the Women's Senior National Football Championship on November 30 in Kuthuparamba, Kerala. Meghalaya took the lead in the 34th minute, courtesy of a goal by Ibashisha Kongwet, but Daman and Diu rallied back and equalized in the 51st minute thanks to Nirmala Durve. In the 79th minute, Jivanti struck the back of the net to snare all of Meghalaya's points. The Meghalaya women will now face Pondicherry on December 2 at 2:30 p.m. According to Auckland County Sheriff Michael Bouchard, the Oxford High School students killed were Tate Meyer, 16, Hannah St. Julian, 14, and Madison Baldwin, 17. Bouchard said that 7 other students and a teacher were shot. 3 are in critical condition with gunshot wounds, including a 14-year-old girl who is on a ventilator after having surgery. A 14-year-old boy is in serious condition with a gunshot wound to the jaw and head. 3 students are in stable condition and the teacher who was shot has been discharged. Governor Gretchen Whitmer described it as every parent's worst nightmare and added that shootings at schools are a uniquely American problem that we need to address. This is an unimaginable tragedy. There were multiple other non-life-threatening injuries sustained by people as they were rushing out of the school. Most were treated and released at a staging area. The suspect, a sophomore at the school, was taken into custody without incident 2 to 3 minutes after authorities responded to the shooting. Under Sheriff Michael G. McCabe said his parents have hired an attorney and have not permitted him to talk to police. David Coulter, the Oakland County executive, said the suspect is being held at Oakland County Children's Village, a juvenile detention facility, and is on suicide watch, where he is being checked on every 15 minutes. A South African scientist who spotted the Omicron variant of COVID-19 has said she was quite shocked at what she was seeing and questioned whether something had gone wrong in the process. On Friday, November 19, Rachel Viana, head of science at one of South Africa's biggest private testing labs, sequenced the genes on 8th coronavirus sample and got the shock of her life. The samples tested in the Lancet laboratory all bore a large number of mutations, especially on the spike protein that the virus uses to enter human cells. The scientists got a sinking feeling that the samples were going to have huge ramifications and recalled it looked like a new lineage. The discovery of the Omicron variant in southern Africa has caused global alarm, with countries limiting travel from the region and imposing other restrictions for fear it could spread quickly even in vaccinated populations. Amoka and the team at the NICD spent the November 2021 weekend testing the 8 samples which Vienna sent them, all of which had the same mutations. In addition, Vienna had been alerted to an oddity in the sample earlier this month by a colleague, an S gene dropout, one of the mutations that now distinguishes the new Omicron variant of the coronavirus from the globally dominant Delta one. A plot of virtual land that went for $4.3 million in the Sandbox is the most expensive metaverse property sale ever. According to the Wall Street Journal, prices for virtual land set a new milestone on 30th November 2021, with one company buying property in the Sandbox metaverse for a record $4.3 million. Republic Realm, which invests in and develops virtual real estate and other digital assets, purchased the land from Atari SA, marking the biggest metaverse property sale publicized to date, citing Republic Realm and data from nonfungible.com. The new record broke the one set just last week by Metaverse Group, a subsidiary of tokens.com, when it purchased a patch of digital land for about $2.43 million at the time. That land is set in the so-called fashion district of Decentraland, an online virtual-only environment. The deals underscore the increasing appetite for stakes in the metaverse, or the online space of interconnected 3D worlds in which people in avatar form can socialize, work, shop, and play games. Crypto asset management firm Grayscale has said that the metaverse holds a $1 trillion a year revenue opportunity. For ELITETV News Channel, contact the email address info@elitetv.in or 940-289-0982 and subscribe to ELITETV YouTube channel or follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter for more information about the channel. Let's take a look at the headlines once again. India reported 8,954 new coronavirus cases and 267 related fatalities. India's new travel rules for international flyers effective from December 1, 2021 and Omicron scare. Parliamentary panel on education to incorporate Vedas and other great Indian texts in school textbooks. That's all for now. Thank you for watching ELITETV. Have a great day.